And it's not until we get rid of that so-called hiding, those tricksters, those things that we want to shelter, that we think that nobody can see on. If we are hiding, then what do you think that's hiding in? Because last time I checked, you cannot hide in the light, you hide in the dark. So when you're hiding all those three masks in the dark, you're putting more darkness, more darkness, more darkness, more darkness. And then where is the light going to go? What happens when you become so used to the dark, you don't even realize it's dark anymore?
Welcome, everybody, to the first episode of the Human Blueprint in 2020. My name is Angelo, and I'm here with Herman, and we're excited. Herman, first episode of 2020, how do you feel?
Very excited because we ended off 2019 with a bang, and we started 2020 with an even bigger bang. So we want to share, little snippets here and there, what we've been up to.
Exactly. So you definitely want to stay to the end of this because we're going to map out a little contest that we have just planned out, and the prize is pretty special. I'm not going to tell you right now, but just stick around, and you're definitely going to want to listen to the topic that we have today, because I believe it's something that will help everybody in 2020 really get past and break through what they want to do and what they want to accomplish. But before we get into that, Herman, I know it's been a while, a couple weeks off of the podcast because we've been very, very busy. But we wanted to give everybody a quick little update and let everybody know that the event Conquer Your Mind in LA was a very successful one. A lot of lives were changed, and we couldn't have done it without everybody else. So everybody is very appreciated on our behalf. And I always tell people that without them actually being at the event, like, what would it be? So I think that the attendee and the listener, the watcher, the subscriber, you guys are what make this podcast so special as well, because without your comments, without your engagement, without, the gratitude that you show us, then we just feel like we're talking to a screen or a camera.
Exactly. And remember, we do this for you. So if there's things that you want us to talk about, things that you are interested in, things that you want help with, let us know in the comments. Let's keep the conversation going, and let's make this the best year ever.
Exactly. So without further ado, we want to introduce the very first topic of this year, and that is hiding.
Yes.
So for me, when I think of hiding, I think of, number one, I've done it before. And it's where, how I interpret it is almost acting one way in front of one person, but then a different way in somebody else. And it's like you're hiding what you don't want them to see or what you don't want them to hear. And I think it's a lot easier to do that in today's world because we have computers, we have phones. A lot of the interactions that we do take aren't necessarily direct face-to-face. And so I think we're in a point where it's very, very easy for people to do that. And it's almost like a learned habit that a lot of the next generation coming up is even better at doing that than we are because they've learned from us.
So here's a perfect example, Angelo. Number one thing people tell me, or when they message us, or when they ask for help, when we get on these calls, a lot of people talk about finance. Now, here's the thing. During the holiday season, people aren't so worried about the finance because everything goes on the credit card, right?
Mm-hmm.
Come January, when the bill comes on the 21st, and what happens when you open up that statement? Can you hide, or what's been charged has been now accounted for, correct?
Correct.
So all the credit card companies want you to sign up for their credit card because they want you to hide. They know what psychology is going to do. They know that habits are going to kick in. They know if you're not educated enough that those things are going to kick in. And that's why we want you to stop hiding, because we have to face the truth. And if that statement is the truth, we have to not be afraid to look at it, because we have to be accountable for our actions. We have to be accountable for things we do, things we choose. And I feel so many people talk about resolutions, but how can you talk about that when you haven't even been accountable? If things that you are saying that you don't follow through or even believe or trust yourself, then when you promise other things, the weight of your word just decreases and decreases and
Mm-hmm.
decreases to the point you don't even believe yourself anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I've been at that point, and it takes a lot of effort and work to rebuild to get to the point where you can begin to trust yourself. And I think that for the people that maybe they don't trust themselves with their word, like, is there something that they could do to get on the right track this year?
Of course. So it always starts with the little things. So let's say you made a promise to yourself that you were going to, let's say, number one thing, people around this time, they go to the gym. Okay. So everybody has a brand new gym membership, shiny gym membership. And by the time it hits January 31st, you don't see anybody again. And so here's the thing, we have to learn to be committed to the little things. So if there's something that you're going to promise, and let's say that gym is too much of a stretch because we've become lazy or we've become ignorant or we've become very allergic to working out or exercise, then that may be too much of a leap or too much of a stretch. So what do? We have to do the little things. So let's say we are going to ensure we want better health, okay? Then that means maybe not going to buy that Starbucks that's maybe $7 or $10 every single day.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe if we know better health is like, maybe water is a lot healthier instead of the coffee. So how about we have water, which is a lot cheaper, and we save ourselves $10 there? Then we're not hiding, right? So we're making the small little commitment to coffee. Then maybe there's another thing. Maybe there's something saying, you know what? I'm going to ensure that I'm going to work out at least 5 minutes every day. Something small.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's 5 push-ups, maybe it's 5 sit-ups, maybe it's 5 chin-ups, all within that 5 minutes. But you have to start small, where you're going to learn to trust the little things that you're saying to yourself. Otherwise, the little things that you're going to say to yourself are going to be on the opposite end of the coin or spectrum, and they'll be very negative. And the little voice inside will make you do greater things that are not necessarily out of your control. It's because you just hear the voice, your emotions are tied to that, and then that's what you operate with.
Mm-hmm.
Accountability means there is no voice inside. You're in control of everything you think, say, and do, and you do the little things, and you repeat that, and you repeat that. And that's called experience. And from experience, you do that 10,000 times, Angelo, and everybody listening. And then you have what's called as mastery. You have that mastery, then you never think, you never have to think about it again. You move that energy now to a new seed, to a different area, to a different topic, to a different area of improvement. And then you master that, and then you don't have to think about it again. But so many
Mm-hmm.
people are not mastering anything. So all the energy is dispersed into 1%, 1%, 2%, 5%, and nothing much can come from it because there's not enough energy to build a momentum to get from what I say to what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
So we got to make the little things, the little changes, right? Let's say road rage is something you have. A little thing would say, you know what? Instead of speaking, I am going to keep my mouth shut first. And I'm going to just turn the radio up just an extra few notches, play my happy song, and just make sure I don't go to that place because I turn into a bad person when I go to that place. Nobody's going to like me, right? So it's the little things that we have to do that make us learn to trust ourselves again. Because we did trust ourselves before, but it's the choices we've made that have not necessarily been accountable or accounted for that make us not even believe the words that we say.
Mm-hmm. It's like the dots are connecting for me right now, because what you're talking about with hiding, and now we're talking about the accountability. When you're not accountable, you feel like you can hide. But when you're accountable, you cannot hide because you know the truth. You know what you said you were going to do. And you can't just, if you do it, like, I feel like you get, for me at least, I would feel very guilty to break that promise that I made to myself. So that really was like a huge connection for me to understand the way you described accountability first off, and then understand the fact that we can't hide anymore. So the more accountable we are, the less we should be closet watching.
And picture this. In Asia, we understand that certain people, if not everybody, has a certain mask. And so for those of you who are listening that don't know about this, masks are equal to different personas that we play or that we take on, okay? So it's like a method actor, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So picture this. In Asia, we understand everyone has three. One they show to everybody. One they only have for behind closed doors in their house or in their basement, hiding. And one they feel that they never show to anyone or that nobody can see. And so when we talk about hiding, it's because they don't know which one of these they're playing at. So let's say they're at home and they feel like nobody's looking. So they're over here, okay? So they're with the mask they feel no one sees, no one knows about. And that's the person they're talking to do the changes. It will never get done because the person that needs to get changes is the one that's in front of everybody, because that's where a lot of the damage is being done. It's because when they're in front of everybody, they have to be accountable there. But if you're over here where you're wearing the mask that you feel nobody knows about or sees, then the change will never occur. And then if we're over here in the house and behind closed doors, and we feel how we act this home is different to how we act in the workplace, or how we act when we go out in public, or how we act in front of everyone online. If we're over here and we want to make the change there, but we're still hiding and we're not accountable, and we feel like, you know what, I can just sit behind my computer at home and write bad comments or bad tweets about people, hurt people, use words and project negativity towards other people, then that's not accountable. So then you can't do it over here, which is where everybody sees you and knows you. And so where the accountability must start is to ensure that first off, there are zero masks. Who you are outside is who you are at home. Who you are at home is who you are in this home.
Mm-hmm.
No games, no masks, no trickster. It is just plain who you are. And that's being genuine and truthful. If we are wanting to make changes, but we're playing with three different masks all the time, we don't know psychologically where our mind is, because most likely it's where you feel people don't know you or see what you do at all. The one that you feel that you can hide that no one knows about. And so when we have calls with people or people see in person, like we did in LA, people can't hide any of their masks in front of me, as we display over time and time again. People watch an ad, people see a video, people watch on YouTube, people see it live, people see it on their personal calls. There is no hiding, because all of those are no longer in the equation. And it's not until we get rid of that so-called hiding, those tricksters, those things that we want to shelter, that we think that nobody can see on. If we are hiding, then what do you think that's hiding in? Because last time I checked, you cannot hide in the light, you hide in the dark. So when you're hiding all those three masks in the dark, you're putting more darkness, more darkness, more darkness, more darkness. And then where is the light going to go? What happens when you become so used to the dark, you don't even realize it's dark anymore?
You become consumed by it.
Ah, and then where's the light supposed to go?
There's not a lot of room for it.
And it's
being
just like
taken up.
just like the device people are watching this on, just like any device people use, there's a certain amount of battery. What happens if the battery's completely gone?
Phone's dead.
What happens if all the space is gone? Can you take another photo, take another video?
No.
So you have to learn that you have to cut things out, charge things up, so that the light can pierce the darkness. So when the light pierces that darkness, there is nowhere to hide. So then the accountability can occur. And then when the accountability can occur and you've done it and you've lived it in all different phases, like we described, in public, at home, behind closed doors, and where you feel no one knows or sees anything, that you're the same person, you have the same beliefs, you have the same actions, you have the same feeling and truths about yourself, then we're getting somewhere. But if we are hiding and we're always playing between these three masks, and we're playing and we're doing a dance between all different three, it is exceptionally difficult to get to any results or to get any form of progress, because all we're doing is going in circles.
So I have a question, but I just want to mention before we get into it, if you're enjoying this, if you relate to having the 3 masks, then leave a comment below and let us know. Also, contest, I can't wait to share it with you guys, so keep tuning in. But the question that I wanted to ask you, Herman, is let's say those masks have really started to develop a lot. So those 3 that you talked about, each one of them is just feels like it's getting bigger and bigger to the point that someone doesn't feel like they even know who they are. They don't know who they should be. They don't know what they're like without the 3 masks.
Mhm.
What's their starting point?
Number one, you have to talk to me, talk to us.
Yes.
First start. Number two, you have to be willing to address it. A lot of people who have their masks are not willing to address it. So you have to be willing to address it, because usually people who live in that space with all those masks, it is very difficult for them to progress to a higher level of consciousness or a higher level of compensation or a higher level of understanding, because they only keep going in circles. And so have to be willing to do it. And number three, they have to be able to take direction. It is pointless if we talk about it, we identify it, but people cannot take or follow simple direction. They will never get to the destination, will never get to the target. And I think in life, we're all about results, right?
Of
Well,
course.
if we're going to help you get those results, we're going to do our part. But other people just have to ensure, like, they just show that they can do their part, and we will help get you to that target. But there's always two sides.
Mm-hmm. Always. I know for me, I always had to show that I was worthy of the next step before I was given it.
And for everybody listening, don't think that anyone on my team has it easy either. Everyone has to earn every single inch, and you can ask them. And the reason why it's done this way is because once they understand the real value of what they have, then it would never be lost. And then they can give you that same value in return.
Exactly. And that's really what it's all about. I mean, for me, I just feel like when I look back and measure my growth, because it's almost been 4 years now since I've had my first session. When I look back on mine, I look back on when I became a part of the team and when I started to help more people get that one-on-one experience with you that I had. It was like the way I was able to communicate it or to help the other person on the end is a lot different to how I'm able to do it today. And I think that's just the results that you're talking about. Like those are the results that we want to help more people get, to be able to bring more value to others, to be more valuable in front of other people when you're outside, inside the house, and also to yourself, so that you're not lying to yourself.
I completely agree with you. And I feel if anybody can resonate with this or is watching this, comment, let us know. Text us. We have a text number. Text us. Let us know. Continue the conversation. And I feel this is the perfect segue for what Angelo has been teasing you all with. I want to help you understand we're doing this giveaway to give back, but also to give you that jump start. New year, people say new me, right? Well, let us help you get there. And so, Angelo, if you want to share that, I want to let everyone know we've never done this before.
Yes, this has never been done before. So this is the very first time we've ever entertained something like this. And so how would you like to have a conversation with Herman one-to-one? What would that mean to you? What would you be willing to do in order to have that conversation? Because we are going to allow one person, one lucky winner that fulfills all of these requirements to have that special conversation with Herman on a call. And so the call, it's going to be a 15-minute call. You can cover so much in 15 minutes with Herman, because one thing he doesn't do is hide. And he's not going to hide the truth from you, or not going to hide anything. And that's one of the things that I really admire about Herman, is the fact that he's always able to be transparent, but in the most genuine way. And so all that you have to do in order to qualify is you have to be subscribed to our email list. You have to be subscribed on YouTube, subscribed on Instagram, subscribed on Facebook. And then once you do all 4 of those things, then all you have to do is text us. And so I'm going to go over each one. very quickly so that it makes a lot of sense to you, all you have to do is go to the description, because there's going to be a link where you can subscribe to our email if you're not already subscribed. Once you're subscribed, you're going to get weekly inspiration, you're going to get exclusive offers, you're going to be the first to always be updated on things. And so it's definitely a place that you want to be. So there'll be a link in the description to subscribe if you're not already subscribed. After that, all you have to do is subscribe right here on YouTube. That's easy enough, right, Herman?
Yeah.
And then go to Instagram and Herman Sue on Instagram, which will, again, will be linked in the description. So follow on Instagram and then follow on Facebook as well. It'll be linked in the description. And then once you do all 4 of those, just take a little screenshot and send us a text over to 1-863-267-9558. That number will be in the description. So that's where you can text Herman. You can show us that you completed the 4 steps. From there, you'll be entered into a raffle, and we will do that raffle probably in about a week after the show is live. So we'll give some time for everybody to have their opportunity to get into the raffle, and then we will do that, and then we'll have your number. We can text you and we can let the winner know that it's them, and we'll help you set up your 15-minute conversation with Herman. And it will be impactful. It will be life-changing. It always is. And so you don't want to miss out on this contest. I mean, what an easy way to potentially get something that is worth far more than, what it takes to actually join the contest. So how does that sound to everybody? I mean, it excites me.
And how about this, Angelo? For bonus entries, they can go back onto Instagram, Facebook, right, on YouTube videos. And if they comment on all the other previous videos, or like and comment on all the other previous posts, like and comment on everything that, like something genuine, make as much noise as possible to get noticed that, yes, everybody's playing on the same field. But see, the difference between why other people are getting ahead and we aren't is because we aren't doing that extra. So remember what we said about success? It's going from failure to failure without the loss of enthusiasm. So we want to help you understand, the more enthusiasm that you show, if you like, comment, subscribe to everything that we just said, and the more noise you make and the more you put yourself out there, the more you will get noticed. And then when you get noticed, then those are most likely the ones that will have like the most amount of entries. So we just want to make this as fun and as clean as possible, where people all have the fairest chance, the same chance. And it's like those that are who really want it most will show it the most.
Exactly. So show that enthusiasm. I mean, we're looking forward to everybody's entry, looking forward to seeing your text, looking forward to just connecting more with you. I mean, for us in 2020, it's always the same, right? We just exist to make your life better. And we want to continue. If we made your life better in 2019, first off, we're very humbled, and we just want to make it even better in 2020. And we want to continue to reach and impact those that maybe are seeking something like Herman, the guidance that he brings, the light that he shines. And the more people that we could help, ultimately, the greater the world can be. So let's all be that change that we wish to see in the world. And let's make 2020 our best year yet.
And we're going to make sure that we're going to be like champions. And the thing about champions is they never create excuses. They never give an excuse. And so if you've ever wanted to talk, if you've ever wanted this, if you've ever wanted to get that help and really allow this year to be your best year, this is how you do it. So please don't be shy. Don't think negatively. Don't think, oh, it's never going to be me. Give it your best shot and see what happens.
Exactly. You have nothing to lose, but so much to gain.
Exactly.
Well, we thank each and every one of you for tuning in. Herman, do you have any last thoughts about this episode and hiding and accountability?
We can go on for forever on this topic, or many topics, but we'll end it with this. We want to help everybody understand how important accountability is. We want everyone to understand the importance that once you have that, then you're able to move forward. And so if you can really make this small little pivot, small little change of being a little more accountable in the little things, then when it comes to a bigger thing, it won't be as big as what you perceive it to be. It would be so much easier because all the other things that you accomplished allowed you to feel like this was nothing. And so really give this your best shot. Give yourself the best shot on this contest, and give yourself the best shot with life, right? Don't ever hold yourself back. Give yourself the shot that you believe in yourself and go for it.
I love that. That was so well said. So we thank each and every person for tuning in. Always remember, don't limit yourself, because I see that happen all too many times where other people will say, I actually heard this today. It's like somebody was saying, talking about somebody and saying like, they're great and they could do whatever they really want with their life. And I'm like, well, so are you. And so could you, but you don't think the same about yourself.
Yeah,
So you are incredible. You are great. And you have to believe that, right?
exactly.
Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you on the next episode. Link in the description to all of the contest details. And I'm excited for that lucky winner, because your life is going to be changed after you talk to Herman.
Thank you, everyone. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.